What's going on, Launcher Crew? It's back. We're back for another edition of some Launcher Stream Madness. In case you can tell, we are about to play the latest update to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is already a massive, enormous game as it stands. It's called Siege of Paris, which gets the Franks involved, because, of course, why not? We have to get them involved as well. This is my Eivor that you're seeing currently on screen. I wanted to play as female Eivor only because she's the canon choice, actually, for people that don't know. The game at the very beginning asks, do you want to choose your gender or do you want the animus itself, which is like the Matrix, like Jack thing that goes alongside the game, to choose for you. And it chooses the female gender should you decide to go with that. So that all being said, this is my guy right here and his little buddy Sunan. Hugh is this little hawk that's going to be doing some reconnaissance for us. But before I get started, I wanted to get some things out of the way. Thank you so much for joining us. We are the video game coverage team for the Washington Post. Please look at our description down below for some more information about our site. We've already covered this game pretty extensively. One of the more interesting components to this game actually has to do with the fact that it had a lot of bugs to start. Not to the extent of like cyberpunk bugs. It was definitely nothing that bad. But there were some game-breaking bugs that went kind of unreported for a very long time. A major reason why I think that is the case is because they happen, 50 plus hours into the game, where it's kind of impossible for people to just restart their game and start over after they get that. If you want to learn a little bit more about it, it's called a brewing storm bug, and you can take a look down in the description below for more information on that. Fortunately, they ended up patching out the bug, which is super fantastic because as somebody that actually decided to play through the game again, let me tell you, it is not a fun ride. So very good that they actually got it out of the way and got it fixed. If you want any more content about Assassin's Creed, we also have our rankings for each game of the series that you can find down below in the description. So with that being said, I think it's time to get started with playing some Assassin's Creed Valhalla Siege of Paris. Right ahead of us, you'll see that the actual quest that we need to get started is called Strangers Bearing Gifts. I'm going to go talk to this NPC over here to get the quest started. And I'll turn up the volume too so you can hear what she's saying.
Is that everything? This feast has to be great.
Yes, it is our last chance.
Wolf-kissed.
Welcome to Ravensthorpe. I'm Eivor, though you seem to know me already.
You are well known to us. I am Toka Sinriksdottir, and the Frankish boar with me is my advisor, Pierre. We are here on behalf of Sigfred of Francia, renowned warrior and leader of the Northmen there.
You look to be at home here already.
How could we not be? What you have done in this place is amazing. The guest house is a fitting addition. We have also brought new tastes for your long table from Francia. If it is drink you prefer, we have mulled wine.
Very generous. Some might say overly generous.
Consider it a token of goodwill from the hand of my uncle Sigfred. You know, clan to clan.
Yeah, some people might have noticed that I did spend a little bit of money on this. There was a couple of cool items that I really wanted, including this like lava armor that I'm wearing.
Me of how Francia used to be. Given the chance, I would visit often.
And you would be welcome. Yet you do not share your gifts for nothing. I await the boon you surely will ask of me.
Tales of your judgment proved true. You can teach me some of that wisdom over ale this day. Shall we begin?
Let's do it. We'd feast later.
Let us see if these Frankish treats hold up to scrutiny.
Let us eat.
For reference, by the way, there's a lot of screens I have to pay attention to because I'm also manning the tech side of it. So this is my tech side, and that's me actually playing the game. So I might be darting back and forth, but my attention is undivided. One interesting thing about this game that I think might be cool to bring up right now, concerning like the DLC and the fact that I paid for some of it, is that Assassin's Creed is starting to transition away as a series from its numeric entries and becoming a live service. In fact, the next game in the Assassin's Creed line is going to be called Infinity, which is a live service. And you can actually see inklings of that start in Valhalla. This is the, I think, third major expansion at this point for Valhalla, and there is no indication yet that it's going to stop. They haven't announced that there's going to be any more content left at this point, but at the same time, who knows when they're going to end it. I've been decently satisfied with what they've given so far, but it's already a massive game, so how much more of game can you take? I guess that's going to be one of the questions that's going to be on my mind as we play forward. So, what am I gonna drink here? I'll stick with some good old-fashioned ale. Why not? I think ale's a good choice.
It will always be ale for my cup.
It is not only the channel that separates us. There is an entire sea of bad taste.
I want to show you something. In our travels throughout England, I have taken swords in raids and battles. This I took in a holmgang against 2 oafish brothers in East Anglia. 'Tis but a worn twig, but it's still my favorite.
So you've traveled to all corners of this land before arriving at Ravensthorpe. To what end?
I mean to entice you and others like you to join in the glorious raids along the River Seine.
Who have you talked with thus far?
Oh, Ranvi. Oh,
Jarl
man.
Hemminger, Guthrum.
Ranvi is
even
not having
Halfdan.
any
Paris
of this.
itself is set to be sieged. And after that, we will have amassed more riches than anyone in England has dared imagine.
Let me guess how many Jarls will join you on your Frankish raids and sieges. None.
They just fail to see the scale of the bounty we stand to plunder.
What do you really want, Toka?
Every word I have said is true. But there is something else. A new power is rising in Francia.
What kind of power?
The Frankish kingdoms have been united under one king, Charles the Fat.
Ooh.
And with this combined strength, Charles has begun a slow march against the Norse villages there.
The thing that I've always enjoyed about
He
this
killed
series
my
is
father
that
and wiped out my village.
it stays pretty true
Sorry for
to
your
actual
father and your
history,
village.
with obvious
We have our own troubles
touches here and
in
there.
this land.
With Charles the Fat in power, those troubles will worsen. After his campaign in Francia, he will come for England. Charles will come for you and your clan. His armies multiply by the day. Real soldiers and cavalry, not like the Saxon farmhands and gillers in these parts.
If the Raven clan were to help you, what is it you would ask of us?
Our chieftain, Siegfried, prepares to siege Paris and make the Franks rethink their actions against we Norse. And our longships will grow heavy with treasure in the doing.
Man, this... I'm telling you, this game is massive. There's just so many storylines.
My scouts attest to the claims of Toka and her people. But before now, I saw no reason to involve our clan.
Do you see reason now?
If the Mad King Charles does have ambitions for England, we should act. The Siegfrieds you mentioned, he rallies the Norse there. Joining him could be our chance to push back against this new king.
Or I could meet this Charles myself, and if he will not deal with me, I kill him.
This problem is bigger than one king. If we kill one, another will rise.
Aver's always the
Were
type
he
to just be
murdered
like, I'll
by
just
a
kill him,
Norse
it's
from
fine.
England, it could
What's
bring
the worst that
Franks
could happen?
To our shores even sooner.
Then I will be mindful of who I kill and who I ally with in Francia. Could be a stable king is the way to keep Ravensthorpe safe.
Let me see the sword. I wish to examine the ironwork.
No, I stole this, and it is mine.
Fine. If you will not show it to me, I will have to take it. Ready yourself, Pierre. I challenge you to a holmgang.
Enough! Toka, You came here looking for help with this new Frankish threat. The Raven clan will answer your call.
You will? You will! I promise you will not regret this. Find Pierre when you have prepared, and we will make for Francia at once.
I should probably clarify one thing, Chad. He's appeared on a couple of other streams, but my cat Vivi is out and about, so he might bomb the stream at any point. But in the meantime, let's go siege Paris. Okay. Well, a lot of information to take there, but one of the things that I find kind of a little frustrating about the series currently is that for anyone that's beaten Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I won't spoil too much, but it ends in a really fascinating point with the main storyline. And so far, I haven't seen too much progress for the main storyline with the DLC. They seem kind of ancillary. So I'm hoping that that definitely changes here. We'll just have to see, but, you know, we will take it from there, and who knows? Maybe this will just crack the whole thing wide open. So now I gotta speak to Pierre, I think. So I'm gonna try to do that really quick.
Does not ache like mine. What a night.
Yeah, here we go.
Ready to leave for Francia when you are.
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. I have a couple of questions from Twitter and Facebook about this game and this DLC. One thing to note is that as soon as you download it, as long as you have a power of, I think it's 200, and as long as you've completed 2 of the mid-section areas of the game, you should be able to access this. It's actually one of those things where somebody just appears in your village, and you'll get a notification in-game saying so.
Francia, the land of Charlemagne and the bitter prize of Ragnar. Sacked Paris for fortune and silver and sorrow. Now a new king rises, uniting Franks against Norse in open battle, and casting angry eyes toward England.
Suddenly remembering it's been a while since I played this game, so we're gonna see if I can remember exactly how to do a boat.
Crows gather again over Paris.
As I drive it straight into a landmass.
What? No sniveling emissary from King Charles to greet us.
Believe me, Wolf-Kissed, you will feel the warmth of his welcome soon enough.
The Mad King did this.
We all had a part in it.
Somebody from Facebook asked what is a build that I really like using in Assassin's Creed. I think without a doubt you got to go double dual spears. It is the fastest and the most visceral combination that you can get, and melee is just the way to go in this game. There's hardly any reason to sneak.
But we cannot take the longship around Paris as the Franks bridge is
Okay, so
blocked
here's
away.
the dock. It's not a very hidden dock, I gotta say. It was like the first one I came across.
Our village is inland. We will take the horses from here. The others will follow on foot.
Is there danger of an ambush?
Not this close to the water, and not at night. Siegfried has done his work too well.
I will finish unloading the ship. You two go ahead.
Many thanks, Pierre.
And Eivor, there is something we should talk about when I arrive at Melun.
Oh boy.
Until then, ride safe.
Mount up. The ride is not long. How will I
Alright,
face
let's mount
Siegfried?
up.
He entrusted me to gather axes. He wants me to lead one day, but I failed even this.
The failure was not all yours, Tuka. Jarls are ever busy with their
Let me know, by the way, in the chat if
Just give me strong aim and a good fight.
game audio is too loud or whatnot.
Frankish scouts. They have been watching us closely of late. What do you think it means, Eivor?
That Siegfried has not finished his work yet.
Siegfried will not be finished until there are no more Franks left to fight. Scouts have been gnawing at our heels ever since Charles forced us from the north.
He pushes hard against your people. You might have to leave sooner than you expect, Tuka.
I may not be the best one to do it. I see the longhouse. We are almost there.
Odd pathing, but... Alright, we're almost there, hopefully. God, I gotta say, like, I don't know if it translates so well on stream, but, like, this game is absolutely gorgeous.
It is strange to be back after so long. I thought to return with an army.
Alright, coming up on town of Maloon.
Welcome to Milan. We should find Siegfried.
I gotta start saying things with, like, a very heavy French accent. Like the Siege of Paris.
Toka, you have returned. All went well, I hope. Are the others you brought coming behind you?
I need to find Siegfried.
Of course. Well, you will find him where he always is.
Ah yes, he will be at the burial grounds, staring into the mist. It is where he begins most days. This way.
So, another question that I had is, what does Paris have to do with the main campaign of Valhalla? And that's a good question, because the majority of this game does take place in England and Norway. But there is one area in which you run into a character that mentions briefly, hey, something is brewing in France, and we need to go check it out. He ends up being one of the characters that you actually recruit to your village later. And so they've hinted that something weird is going on. I guess we're about to see what that actually is. And if it's actually worth our time, but it's not something that just comes out of nowhere.
Charming about this place.
It is a beautiful land. Or would be if it was not filled with Franks.
That's the other thing that I've got to commend Ubisoft on. They've definitely done a much better job with the RPG elements in this game. To give a brief overview, there's kind of been like 3 phases of Assassin's Creed. The first phase was just the first 3 games, kind of a tight-knit experience. The third game was kind of a letdown. But for the most part, you felt like an assassin. Didn't really have too many RPG elements. There was a lot of sneaking around and stabbing. Then there was a period where it kind of just did one-offs, and some of them were great, some of them were awful, but you could really tell that like the series couldn't really find its identity. It didn't really know what it wanted to do. Next came this phase, which Valhalla is a part of, which is the third trilogy starting from Assassin's Creed Origins. And at that point, they started introducing a lot of RPG elements. They would add like inventory and skill trees and branching choices in dialogue and eventually romance options. Here, I'll show you some of the inventory as I speak over here. So, the game got a lot more complex and involved with the RPG elements. And this is the first game where I think it has felt the most complete, which is a good thing. So, just a little side tangent. I feel like this much fog is never a good thing in any video game.
Siegfried.
God, I wish I could grow up here like that.
Good.
I've got Asian genes, so I don't stand a chance with beards.
You knew it was me.
Yeah, sent word ahead. Your axe will be a boon to us.
I heard your axe has been busy as well.
Yes, I've slain many on the open field with honor, as Odin intended.
It is our way.
But it is not their way. The Franks dragged our Jarl Sinric from his bed and gutted him like a coward. They did not even bury him, just left his body for the animals to take. I raised this mount for him.
You want me to join your side against these Franks?
There is no side. There was only blood debt and vengeance.
All right, well,
and Helheim for those I split with my axe.
I mean, give me some more information first. Is what I feel like.
How dangerous are these Franks? What do they want?
Do you not understand? They want us as Sinric, dead and dishonored, but I will teach them what honor means. Now we will feast, and I will tell you of my plans for Paris.
Oh boy. I do not remember how to summon my horse. Let me
The god of vengeance.
see if I can
It is a
figure
good
it
name.
out.
Many Franks have met their end beneath his iron hoofs.
You know what? I'm just gonna awkwardly run behind him.
Place to come.
No problems here.
Sinric won it from me in the whole
It has been. Oh god, it's not on the menu either. It has been
who watches over
about
Odin's
3 or
hall
4 months since I played it
He
last.
was holding it when I found
I haven't played Wrath of the Druids either.
knew him after the animals
So,
gotten to his body.
Wrath of the Druids being the second DLC that came out for this. All right. Hopefully this awkward canter next to him will stop soon. All right, cool. Yeah, Hawken, I agree. That is a huge axe. That is way too huge.
Ours will be the greatest raid since Ragnar sacked Paris and brought longships full of silver back to King Horik. We will fill our war chest with silver and our mugs with mead.
So much
Blood and
eating.
glory! Skull!
This is not just about silver, Torka.
He hates being disturbed while he eats.
You know, Ragnar returned with more than just silver.
More than silver? What was it? Swords, precious jewels, wine!
Stories of a dead saint defending Paris. Horik was so awed, he freed the Christians and executed his raiders.
Really? That does not sound glorious.
I gotta say, Eivor is definitely one of the cooler assassins we've had in a while. Seems like he actually has a personality. He's actually strangely artistic.
I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good to thee. Kill the heathens! Bring me Sigfred's head, and that one as well. Leave the stripling alive to tell of it.
The what?
Bishop Englewood. This is a good night.
All right, time to remember if I can play this game. I did a little bit of it beforehand, so I don't think I will make a complete fool of myself, which is a good thing. Hey.
It will not be enough.
My horse now. My horse. Alright. That's actually one of my favorite moves. The scorpion get over here.
Where did England go?
Siegfried, wait! What did he say to you?
Toka, see to the wounded, and find the watch. They should have warned us of the attack.
I told you he doesn't like to be interrupted while eating.
We needed that soldier alive to question. Wild heart, level head.
This game would be interesting
Oh, I like
as
that.
PvP. That's another question that
Where's Siegfried
I
going?
got, which is basically
My
just,
guess is to find that
is the live
bishop,
service going to
Englewood.
include PvP? We don't know
He
yet,
hates him above
but
all others.
what I will say is
It was he who killed Cynric.
they'll need to do a lot
Yes,
of
the
balancing
sword
before
brother.
then.
And your father. I'm sorry, Toka.
Nothing has changed. If anything, the attacks grow more frequent, as you see.
Randvi was right. I have to stop this before it reaches Ravensthorpe.
Unless you can convince their king to surrender, you may have to kill every soldier in Francia.
All right, let's think. Well, let me try to maybe smooth talk my way out of this. I feel like Eivor is the type of guy that can talk to them.
Then I will meet with Charles and see if he can be negotiated with.
Their king? That pork-bellied coward will split your skull when you turn your back. Better to kill him than to trust him.
The problem is bigger than one king, Toka. I must talk to him.
I learned
That's
that.
what my clan expects.
It's not all about
Maybe
killing.
But I am not the one you will have to convince in the end.
I'm a learned assassin.
If you
Sometimes
kill
the best
Englewood,
assassination
Siegfried might be persuaded to
is
help
no
you find
assassination.
Charles.
You begin to think like a Jarl, Toka.
Twice our scouts followed Engelwin to the slums south of Paris. When you are ready, that is where Siegfried will be.
I will meet Siegfried there and return when Engelwin is dead. Then, we will find Charles.
Eivor, over here.
Yeah, I think that, like, that's kind of one of the more... Ooh, I got a bear mount. That's fun. Definitely going to switch that if I can figure that out. Let me talk to Pierre first before anything else.
Yeah. What is this about?
We have a shared interest. You in resisting Francia's North-loathing loyalists, me in getting paid.
Those do not seem connected.
I am working with a rogue band of men and women across Francia who tire of the chaos Charles's rule brought. Their numbers are small. Few are foolish enough to resist well-equipped loyalist forces.
You do not believe in their cause.
I do not, but they do. This is where you come in. Help them, and you will have ample reward for your effort.
I'm going to try my best
Strange
not to
that
kill
you
anybody.
support them while believing their cause ill-fated.
I'm a very
What kind
friendly
of
assassin.
monster would I be if I were to dash the hope they hold in their hearts? Anyway, there is profit to be made, and only a fool ignores that.
Interesting.
What do you want to do?
I'm betting... I wonder if this is a side quest. I kind of don't want to get too deep into the side quests, and I want to keep going in the main mission. Let me just... I think I'm going to take a look around first a little more before I actually commit to that. This kind of sounds like the next river
I'll
raid.
be back later.
Well, you know where to find me if you change your mind.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, the very first DLC content for this game was these river raids, which basically had nothing to do with the main story, but they were a good way to gain a lot of loot and gain a lot of armor and stuff like that. So, probably a good thing to check out. Oh, now everybody's favorite portion of the game, traveling. What I really like to do is I like to travel via waypoints, even if it's not a straight path, because this game is dangerous, and I don't want to die and lose all my progress. You don't actually, you can save at any point, but my point being that if you go to the waypoints, you can just fast travel to them. So there's no reason not to go to
If
them.
Siegfried has his way, there will not be a single
I
Frank
really
left
need to
east
figure
of
out how to get my mount, so because otherwise I'm just going to be running like crazy.
What do you see?
Okay, so that's the button. We're almost there, guys. Let's try one more time. Hey, there he is. Yeah, so this is my mount. His name is Sparky. Yes, he's a wolf. And wolves actually play a very big part in this game, for reasons I won't spoil. This is definitely one of the more... I mean, the Assassin's Creed series is an incredibly complicated series story-wise, but this one in particular just takes the cake. There are, like, I want to say 4 or 5 congruent storylines to this game. Which brings up an interesting point that I kind of wanted to discuss earlier. One thing about this game that strikes me as odd is that you wouldn't think of a Viking as an assassin. Like, just by their very nature, they're going to be loud, they're going to be brash, they're going to, like, you know, be war-driven and, like, lust for blood. So, like, how in the world can they be these, like, sneaky dudes? That's not to say that there hasn't been any in history. I'm sure there has been, but the contrast was kind of odd to me. And I was hoping that the game would, like, kind of look a little bit more into that, kind of just, like, the conflicting nature of the two. And it doesn't really do that for the most part. That being said, let me try my best to be a sneaky assassin right now. If I remember correctly, this move that I'm about to use should put him asleep. I'm kind of scared. Okay, all right, yes it is, okay. And then... everybody knows that classic move. All right, I am completely undermining my point right now. But normally the best strategy in this game is to disregard stealth entirely and just go in guns blazing. Just because it's quicker and the builds do more damage that way. And there really is little to no consequence for going in and bomb rushing enemies. Alright. Hakan, we're gonna try our best not to kill anybody, okay? Except for those guys that I just killed. We're killing no kings. If we've learned anything from Randvi, what the storyline is telling us, it's not about killing every king. It would be interesting to do like a deep dive into the storyline of Valhalla. I gotta say, like, I was expecting not that deep of a story, at least in Eivor's storyline and timeline. But it actually ended up being a lot more insightful and an interesting character study. A much more interesting character study than I expected. So. Hey! This is Paris. I would sing the song, but we want to gain money off the stream, so. No copyright infringement here. All right. God. Paris is not holding up well at all. Gotta say. So... I think the one interesting thing about this game, too, is Assassin's Creed has always had, like, the mirage of being able to, like, climb whatever you want. And for the most part, in this game, I think this game is definitely the closest to actually... Yeah, you can. With the various exceptions here and there of, like, some walls with weird collision... You can kind of climb anything in this game, which is kind of awesome. That's a good question that we just got in chat. So, without getting too spoilery, your decisions in this game are typically very minimal. There is, however, a series of decisions that you make throughout the game that the game doesn't prompt you about that basically influences one of the biggest outcomes at the end of the game. Which sounds crazy, but the game does like a decent job of actually kind of like cluing you in on it if you pay attention to the storyline. What I will say is this. This game is a lot more about a character study and character relationships than you would expect. So, that's my gaming hint for you, for anyone interested in playing this game. Alright, what's next? Gotta find and speak to Siegfried. Alright. I'm probably gonna have to call in my buddy Sunin. Let's do that right now.
Go, my eyes.
Okay. I want a raven like that. Vivi would definitely eat him. Or the other way around, I can't tell. So I'm doing this completely blind, by the way. So might be slight lulls here and there, but nothing too crazy. All right, here we go. Gonna take the cool route, especially with these. Oh God. Okay. This is already taking a horrible turn. I am not a fan of rats. Oh God. No, stab him. Oh God. So much pain. Also, like, stabbing him with like these huge spears is like totally overkill, but. Alrighty.
How did you find me? Where's Toka?
Toka guessed you would be here. She is still at Milan, looking for your missing watch.
I lost Engel, but the soldier told me he is heading for the church nearby. Come, we can go through the slums.
Alright, let's do it.
Even from here, I can smell the piss of the slums.
Siegfried, I mean to stop this fight from coming to England. I must meet with Charles.
For what? You cannot bargain with these thralls. Have you forgotten my fallen brother, Cynric?
No, and that is why I must try. It is why I came to Francia. If I kill Engelman, I want you to help me get an audience with the king.
There is no reasoning with you, wolf-kissed. You are as wild as your namesake.
Oh God. This guy. Yeah, I gotta say, speaking of his, like, huge axe, I'm gonna be very careful of how I say that. Axes in this game, two-handed axes, are actually not that great of an item. They're kind of too slow to be made of any use.
In our veins runs the blood of holy kings and conquerors. The Northerners may have numbers, but we have God.
That is Odo, Count of Paris and right-hand man to the king. Drumming up support for his army, no doubt.
I'd be curious to see
Our courage and honor.
a video that dissects how close to real history the Assassin's Creed series gets.
As we always have.
Self-important as always. The one next to him is Gosselin, Bishop of Paris and a fearsome warrior. For the Frank. Those two are for another day. You have to get to Engelwin. And to do that, you have to find your way into the church. The answer is down there in that stink.
That is not much to go on.
If it was easy, I would have killed him myself already. You have an advantage. You are unknown to these people.
The Raider Siegfried is almost at our gates. And what does he want? What the Northerners always want. Blood and silver. Yours and mine.
Me, they know quite well already. Someone down there knows something. All you have to do is get them to tell you.
I have your word. Once this is done, we find Charles.
As you say, but work fast. I cannot leave Miller unguarded long. This Frankish stench already turns my stomach.
This guy and his stinks, man. Gotta get him some, like, nasal spray or something. Like the nose guard.
3 guards. Insulting. I will deal with them while you find Engelwin. He is hiding in his church. Will you sneak in, convince one of his own to aid you, or cover the streets with blood?
As you would?
They deserve no less. But you are the wolf-kissed. You do not need my advice. So what will you do?
Not gonna kill him, as we've established. Oh, what is this? Safe behind the guarded gates of his fortified church, Bishop Engelwin is an unreliable shepherd of the suffering populace of the Paris slums. All right. Well, let me see. Infiltration opportunities are marked on your compass with a diamond. So, interestingly, that's cool. So one thing that I really like about Valhalla in particular is that it does a pretty good job of interweaving main storyline with just like a lot of choice in open world exploration. Let me take a look at the map really quick just to get my thoughts on it. So just like right away, you can see that there's a lot of main quest icons just like strewn across this area. Don't know what these little firefly dudes are. I'm seeing also a lot of blue dots. The blue dots are significant because they are typically like side missions that might tie back into the main story. One of my questions that I had gotten in chat was, how closely does this tie to the main story of the game? Of, you know, what's going on in the future, what's going on with Layla and the Animus and stuff like that. The answer, without spoiling too much, doesn't seem to be that much so far, but I would bet that one of these dots actually hold a clue to one of those things. The true question is, do I want to check one of those out, or do I want to try to continue along with the storyline here? I think that let's try to continue along with the storyline, and if we just so happen to come across any, then I can go ahead and try it out. But, Chad, if you do want me to kind of explore those other blue dots, try to see if we can piece together the mystery of the main plot, just let me know. In the meantime, let's go check out this local tavern. Man, I gotta say, I did miss this game a lot. I came close to around 200 hours playing through my playthroughs. Around like 70 to 80 the first time.
Be gentle if they spot me.
And then maybe like 105 total for the next. Oh. Teleport. Okay, cool. I did not initiate that for what it's worth. So.
Let's see.
Alright. How do we get in here? Let's see. I might need to call in my good buddy Sunan again.
Have a look, Sunan.
One thing I also really like doing in this game is just literally just flying around the locales as Sunan. This is a feature that's been here since at least Origins. It might have gone even earlier than that. It's just really cool to see the vistas and the great graphical work that Ubisoft has done. That's one thing you can't fault them for. Like, there's some visual glitches, but for the most part, this is a beautiful game. Looks like we might just have to go through the front door, everyone. Let's see. Oh, is this it? Of course. This isn't the main entrance that I saw. I saw that there's like some people towards the front, so I'm gonna head in that direction now.
The guards are heavily armed. I should be careful here.
Excellent. Where are the men tasked with the other?
The church appears closed.
It's the plague. We're still receiving tithes, however. God will receive your offering to Northerner.
There must be a way I can get in.
Only those on urgent business for the bishop may pass.
I could be in such business.
If you were, you'd have mentioned the watchword.
This guy's
But you haven't, so you are.
accent is
Come
so
back once the plague is
insane.
past.
I have no idea what he just said, even with the subtitles. Alright, that was nutty. I'm seeing at least a couple of people mention maybe we should try the blue dot. So the real question is, which one do you want to try? Let's try this two right here really quick. If that doesn't work out, we can try to go back to the main mission for a little bit. If we get truly stuck, we'll try something else. Still a whole lot of this area to explore. Oh my god, there's my puppy mount. Who's a good puppy? I didn't even remember putting Sparky there. Alright. So, right away, I'll be able to tell based off of the icons whether or not it's going to reveal anything about the main story. There's one in particular that we're looking for, which is like this glitchy symbol. Alright, we'll find out. Okay, it's not that. That's like a really annoying puzzle about rocks, and it's probably not this either, but I'm gonna go check it out just in case. Oh. Oh god, that's not good. Not seeing where he is. I probably should have predicted this. 479 seems like a really high level, but the cool thing about this game is that if you know what you're doing, it's actually very easy to circumvent a lot of the power level stuff. Like, for example, I'm going to try this. The scorpion get over here thing is just so good.
Godless eyes, you will not take me.
I'm definitely more like Cirque du Soleil than I am Assassin. But like, yo, I'm cool with it.
In the lovely name of Lillibon.
Okay. Yeah, so gore content coming up in a sec, just as a warning for people that might not be into that.
Cattle die.
Yeah.
Kinsmen die. Cowards who hide in mud and leaves die.
So like I said, like, so long as you know how to play this game, you can definitely circumvent power levels. I'm currently 250 power levels below him, and that was like no big deal. So neither of those were what we were looking for. So why don't we go and check out. Let's try one more, and if it doesn't end up being anything, we'll check out the one by town, and then we'll try again for the main quest and maybe wrap up after that. What year does this take place? I'm not sure if they mentioned the exact year. They mentioned a time frame. at the beginning of the game, but I don't know if they give an exact year for this. They definitely do for the future timeline. The future timeline takes place, oddly enough, during our time. One of the most startling things about the updates to this game is that there's an email system in this game, and one of the let me actually pay attention to the road. One of the things that actually gets sent to you in the email is from a relative of yours. It's just like, how come I haven't seen you in a while? Do you have COVID? Which is like really unsettling. But all right, so that symbol, I don't think that's what we're looking for. Although I'm not even sure what that one is. That might be one of the new ones from the Wrath of the Druids. So just taking a look at this really quick, I think that there's only one more blue dot to check out, which is that one in the top left corner by this guy. So let's go ahead and fast travel. We'll check it out real quick, and if that doesn't work, we got to figure out something to do with this big bodyguard. I think for the sake of time, I might just charge him. We'll see. It's definitely not the right way to do it, but so the thing that I'm looking for to give more context is all you need to know is that everything you're seeing right here, all this past stuff, is actually a simulation, kind of like the Matrix. And so sometimes the simulation breaks up, and you can tell through like visual glitches, and there's usually a centralized point in the visual glitches that you click and interact with. When that happens, you actually turn into the character that is jacked in essentially to the simulation. And then you do a series of puzzles, and then you get some story lore. So I'm looking to see if there's anything like that. But if there isn't any, then I don't really see a reason to pursue the side quests. And yes, I'm literally just ignoring all of these enemies for the sake of time.
Hey, you shit!
Literally rolling away, Sonic style. Shoutouts to Idris Elba. All right, that's just another side quest, so I think we're gonna skip that. All right, let's go ahead and try to take care of this bodyguard to get to the next portion of the story, and then maybe we'll call it quits there. That's true. You're right, Hawking. We weren't killing. Except for that one guy. That one guy ambushed us. That's not cool, man. People have to live by a code. I say as I am an assassin that brutally murders, just like wanders through villages on a huge wolf. Speaking of. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to talk about, too, before we wrap up. One thing that I will say is that, like, please stick with Launcher, because we will be covering not only this game, but everything Assassin's Creed related in the future. Definitely excited to see what they do with Infinity. And yeah. The link to our website will be in the description below. So, okay, let's take care of this dude. Where is he? I think he's over here.
Need to cloak myself here.
I need to get through.
As I told you, no one can enter due to the plague.
There must be a way I can get in.
Only those on urgent business.
I wonder if...
I could be in such business.
If you were, you'd have mentioned the watchword. But you haven't, so
Oops.
you are. Come back once the plague is past.
Oh, God.
I've got this.
I am hoping that this isn't too much. Oh, God, but it might be. Let's see. All right. It's okay, it's okay. It's fine. This is what we trained for. This is definitely not the right way to do this, by the way. But yeah, this is exactly why I say that dual spears is 100% the way to go in this game. It's so busted. One thing that you'll see me typically do is I'll take my get over here scorpion boomerang thing and toss them against the wall because the wall does extra damage to them. Oh god. Those are always so brutal. Alright. Enough killing. I tire of killing. So, let's go ahead and see if we can try to, like, run up this wall or something and try to escape their gaze. I think I see an opening. I need to find this dude named Engelwin. Probably could have learned more about him at the tavern. It's just a thought. But for the sake of storyline, let's just power on through. This looks promising.
Are you here for deliverance?
Yes. I don't know. I want to be close to God, but those screams don't seem right. Does it seem right to you?
Your deliverance ritual. It is with Ingwan.
Yes. He does it alone. I'm next in line, and I don't think I want this.
I could take your place and see Ingwan for you. Then you could leave. Tell me what I must do.
You need a robe. They won't let you in without their special robe. Then you go down the corridor.
Did you see that massacre that happened outside? I'm pretty sure I don't need a robe.
But they gave me one, but I didn't put it on. I left it somewhere around here.
I will find it and take your place. You should leave now before they call for you.
Yes. Yes, you're right. As soon as my nerves settle, I'll go. It can't be right. Bishop Engelwin didn't say anything about this. Why are they screaming? What do they do in the basement?
I need to find Bishop Engelwin. You know where he is.
If you are here for deliverance, you have a long wait. My brother.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Let's call it here because what I'm starting to see is that this is actually this quest line is actually very similar to another quest line where you're looking for members of the Brotherhood, I think, which basically is this other group that you're fighting against that is kind of like this. They're markers hidden on the main map, and you have to use context clues and ask questions around to see if you can isolate where this person is. So, yeah, exactly. Seeing this is cluing me into the fact that that's going to be like that, so it might take us a while to get to the next point. But anyways, for everybody that was watching, thank you for tuning in to this live stream. This has been Assassin's Creed Siege of Paris for Valhalla. We might do another stream of this. We'll see if anyone is interested. But for more information, please check out the links below. Please go to launcher.gg, which is our main website. If you literally type in launcher.gg and type enter into like a URL, it'll go to our website. And then, yeah, if you liked what you saw, just be sure to like this video and subscribe for more updates and content for our YouTube channel. That's it. So everybody have a great weekend. And one of our sign-offs that we say for every single stream is have a safe launchies. So I guess I'll say that. Have a good one, everyone.